Hello. Okay. Hi everyone. I'm Przemek, and it's a huge honor for me to be here presenting for you today. And I work at Sailor Commerce, where we build the best open source e-commerce platform called Sailor. And we have a bunch of Next.js application as deployed to Vercel. That we use as extensions to our Sailor's core functionality. And we wanted to improve the observability of those apps. And here, a quick disclaimer. The presented solution was used by us in the backend part of our Next.js apps and was tested to work only with the Vercel serverless functions, not the edge ones. Okay, so we started by checking what Vercel have to offer in case of the basic integrations. And basically they didn't meet our needs because they were primarily focused on collecting just logs. We even had some data loss because some logs were truncated. And we were looking for something open, standardized, that will not be another vendor log. So we decided, okay, so maybe let's try to use OpenTelemetry. It's like a huge framework, observability framework, that to tell it very, very simple, gives you an ability to create and manage three types of telemetry signals: traces, which can be used to profile and optimize our code; metrics, to capture some measurements at runtime; and just old standard logs. And okay, so how we can use OpenTelemetry in our Next.js app? The process of doing that is called instrumentation. There is an option for auto instrumentation, but we can also do it manually by putting some observability code inside our app. And here is a super simple example of doing that. So basically we can enable tracing by wrapping parts of our code with spans. We can capture some measurements, and we can use just our standard logger for that. And if we do it properly and then gather all of this data in one of the supported observability backends, here is, for example, a Datadog, we can see a lot of stuff. So we can analyze the trace. We can see all the child spans with detailed information about the execution time. We can see like a whole execution path. We can see logs which are directly correlated with this particular trace, and we can also visualize our custom metrics. And all of this information is like super useful when we want to analyze and understand and troubleshoot our applications. So what we need to achieve that, one thing that is needed, it's called OpenTelemetry Collector. It's a service that sits between our app and the observability backend, and Vercel even comes with one. But we found out that it is still quite limiting. For example, right now it only offers the ability to collect traces, so no metrics and logs. So we thought what we can do about it, and we decided to try out and self-host a collector for our apps. And it went quite smooth because the OpenTelemetry projects is very helpful with that. They have an extensive documentation, and they even provide an Kubernetes Helm chart for self-deployment. Okay, so we have our collector, self-hosted collector deployed somewhere. And now how we can make our Next.js application talk to it. This basically boils down to very simple configuration where we tell the OpenTelemetry exporters, the trace one, metric one, and log one, to send all the telemetry signals to our external collector. Looks cool, but unfortunately, it doesn't work in Vercel out of the box. And that's because, like, basically the OpenTelemetry SDK is written having in mind like a standard node runtime, not the Vercel's serverless one. And the biggest problem that we encountered was that these exporters were shut down mid-execution because the Vercel's runtime is like frozen just immediately just after the response is returned. And what we did about it, we analyzed what the others do to mitigate similar situations. And we tried to override the end method of the response class. And this is basically a way to inject some custom logic just before the response is returned. And so we made like a wrapper, wrapped all of our API functions and instructed to force flash all the telemetry signals just before the response is returned, and it worked. So that's it. It was like just a sneak peek because it's a lot of happening here. But if anyone of you is interested in this topic, please follow Sailor's and mine social media because we are cooking a blog post with all the details. Thank you very much.
Thank you.